Hey guys, how y'all doing? Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm filming the mid-year book freakout tag. I'm doing it a bit later than I was anticipating, but here we are. Let's just get into the video. So the first question is best book that you've read so far in the year of 2020. So for that, I actually have two answers. And the first one is There's Something About Sweetie by Sandra Menon, and the second one is The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. So this is the second book in the Dimple universe, and I loved this book so much. But I just loved the characters in this book so much. I loved the romance, and I loved the whole discussion around body positivity and finding your worth and not letting other people dictate how you should feel about yourself and about your body. And it was so good, guys. Sandra Menon has yet to fail me. I love all of her books so much, and this one was no exception. I am just completely enamored by the story and these characters, and I loved it so much. And then The Hating Game. I loved this book. I'll mention it again in this video, but I don't know why. It was just so swoon-worthy. I loved the characters. I loved the romance. I loved the actual story. There was more to it than just the romance, and I don't know. I have no explanation for it, but these are two books that I definitely really loved, and that will most likely make it onto my favorite books of the year. The next question is best sequel you've read so far in 2020. So I've read a few sequels, but none that I'm particularly jazzed about. So I don't know, this hasn't been my year for sequels. I read Imagine Me, and that was good. I read Legendary, that was fine. I haven't been super impressed or in love with any sequels this year, so I don't really have an answer for this one, which is kind of sad. The next question is a new release that you haven't read yet but you really want to. So I have one that I own and one that I don't yet own, but I'm hoping to get soon. So the first one is Chain of Gold by Cassandra Clare. This one came out maybe in March, and I haven't gotten to it yet because I haven't read Ghost of the Shadow Market yet, but I really want to, so I just haven't gotten to that one yet. I did start it, I just didn't finish it, and I don't really know much about the actual plot of this book, but I'm super excited to get into it because I know that a lot of people love it. I don't know if I'll get to it this year. I'd really like to, but I'm just not in the mood for big chunky fantasies, I guess, but maybe at some point this year. But I really do want to get to this one.
Okay, so I totally forgot to mention You Should See Me in a Crown by Leah Johnson is the other book that's come out this year that I'm really excited for. I have no idea how I forgot to mention this because I'm super excited about it, but this is a YA contemporary that everybody is talking about right now, and it's about prom, and it's a female-female relationship, and it just sounds so good, so I'm really excited for this one.
The next question is most anticipated release for the second half of the year, and I actually have quite a few for this one. So the first one is 10 Things I Hate About Pinky by Sandra Menon. This is the third and I believe final book in the Dimple universe, so that's bittersweet, but I'm so excited about it. We met Pinky for the first time, I believe, in There's Something About Sweetie, and I just fell so in love with her knowing that she was going to get her own book, and I was just so excited to see her story. And the other one is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. I am so excited about this. I am so envious of everybody who's gotten an arc of this book because they're all raving about it, and I want to love it so bad, and I don't know. The entire premise just sounds so amazing to me, about somebody who I think she makes a deal with the devil, and then she's cursed that everyone's gonna forget her or something. I don't know, but it sounds amazing. I'm really excited to read it, and I know that V.E. Schwab put her whole heart and soul into this book and has been wanting to write it for the past decade or something, so that's crazy, and I really want to read it. The next question is the biggest disappointment, and I actually have two for this one. The bigger of the two biggest disappointments is definitely The Toll by Neil Shusterman. I have a whole reading vlog for this series where I try to read it in 3 days, so definitely go check out that vlog. I'll link it up above in the cards for you. This book is the third and final book in the Scythe trilogy, and I was really looking forward to it, and I had heard a lot of mixed reviews on it. People were saying that it just didn't live up to the previous two books, and I was really trying not to believe them, but everybody was right. This book falls really flat. It just, in my personal opinion, it just felt like it dragged on, and by this point in the series, I don't know if it was affected by me reading the book so close together, literally in 3 days. I was kind of just sick of the series by the time I got to this one. I don't know, but the novelty of the story kind of just wore off by this one, and I just didn't care anymore. And I don't know, I think this book was also just way too big for what it was. I don't know, but I was highly disappointed by this book, and I feel like it kind of tainted the series a little bit. I don't know. And the other one is Just One Day by Gail Forman. I was looking for a swoony, one day whirlwind romance in Paris, and that is not at all what I got. And I have another reading vlog where I talk about this book and all my feelings about it, so I'll try to link that up above as well. But it was highly disappointing. And the next one is your biggest surprise of the year so far, and for me that is The Hating Waiting Game by Sally Thorne. I told you guys I'd mention it again. So obviously I don't buy books thinking I'm not gonna like them or whatnot, so I didn't buy this thinking I wasn't gonna like it, but I bought it thinking I would like it, but I didn't think that I would love it nearly as much as I do. Like, I want to reread this book, and I only read it like a couple months ago, but like, it's just one of those books that just, I don't know, it just gave me all the warm fluttery feelings. It is just such a quick fun read, and I don't know, I really was not expecting to love it as dearly as I do, but I love it so much. And every time that I think of the love interest calling our main character Shortcake, I get all the giddy little feelings. I don't know, I'm a sucker for cute nicknames. I loved this book, and it just definitely left a bigger impression than I thought it was going to, and it definitely kind of made me want to read more romance type books, so maybe I'll be reading more in the future, but I actually really loved this book, and I was not expecting to love it this much. The next question is favorite new author, debut or new to you. So for me, that is Sophie Gonzalez, the author of Only Mostly Devastated. I believe she has another book out, so this isn't her debut, although I thought that it was, but it's not. So I definitely want to look into her other book. But I read this book this year, absolutely adored it. It's like a Greece-inspired contemporary story, which I just adore because I love Greece. But yeah, I just like fell in love with her writing and her characters and her storytelling, and I think that she's an amazing author, and I'm definitely gonna keep an eye out for any book that she has coming out in the future because I would love to read them. I don't know, this book was just so endearing. It was like a quick, cute contemporary, and that's exactly what I love to read. So, match made in heaven if you ask me. The next question I also don't really have an answer for, but it is your newest fictional crush. I've been finding that as I'm getting older, I don't really crush on the characters that I read about, at least in new stories. I do still crush on like the old ones that I've read, but for new characters, I find that I more care about their relationships within the book than like actually having a crush on them. I don't know why. Like, I don't think I have any crush on any of the books I've already mentioned in this video. I don't think I really have any new fictional crushes, which is kind of sad. I do miss having fictional crushes. I'll just love the old ones instead. Next question is newest favorite character, and for me that is Sweetie from There's Something About Sweetie. I don't know, there's just something so endearing about her. She's so strong and beautiful, and I just love her. Like, I was just completely endeared by her this entire book. Like, I don't know. I don't know how to describe things that I love. I'm really bad at it, but I don't know. I think she was so sweet. I love her a whole heck of a lot. I definitely look up to her in a lot of ways. So if you guys have not read this book yet, please read it. It's so good. The next question is a book that made you cry, and normally I do have an answer for this. Normally I cry a lot at books or like media that I love, but I can't remember any book that I've cried at this year. I know I cried in like rereads like from Mockingjay or something like that, but I can't think of any like new books that have made me cry. I think all I've cried at is rereads this year, and like I said, I try not to mention those. Like, I just cried or almost started to cry for Anne's House of Dreams by Ella Montgomery because a character died. Yeah, I don't think there's been any new books that have made me cry, which is kind of sad because I do like when a good book makes me cry, but I have some books on my TBR that will hopefully make me cry, so I'm looking forward to that. Apparently I love to torture myself. And the next question is a book that made you happy, and I also didn't really have a specific one for this either, but I think all of these qualify. Like, these ones definitely had sad moments in it, this one too I think, but overall they made me really happy and like swoon worthy, and I love them all a lot. The next question is favorite book to movie adaptation you've seen this year. So there really hasn't been any book to movie adaptations coming out this year, at least not for any books that I've read. So the only answer that I had for this one, the only movie that I could think of that I had seen that is a book is Stargirl, which is on Disney Plus, but I never read the book. So I don't know if this actually counts, but I'm obsessed with Stargirl. I have a couple of the songs from the movie on my novel playlist, and I do love the movie. I saw it twice, but I've never read the book, and I don't think I'm going to read the book. There's been no adaptations coming out this year, at least not any that I've seen.
So I totally lied here because I forgot that P.S. I Still Love You came out this year, and it wasn't my favorite, but it was definitely like good enough that I probably should have mentioned it. But P.S. I Still Love You came out this year and I watched it.
The next question is one that I'm really excited to answer, and it's favorite video that you've done so far this year. Sometimes I like really struggle to come up with this answer because I'm not like, I like the videos that I put out obviously, otherwise I wouldn't be putting them out, but there's never usually like an outlier or like a few videos that I just love dearly. But this year there actually has been quite a few that I've just really loved and been super proud of. So the first one has to be a playlist book tag, and for me my favorite this year has been my High School Musical the Musical the series playlist book tag. I love this show with my entire being. I just rewatched it. I'm pretty sure I've seen every episode about 5 times. I love it a lot. Like, I would literally rewatch an episode like 3 times before the next one would come out. Like, I'm obsessed. And I just had so much fun filming this one. Those songs are so much fun to like jam out to. And also I'm really proud of the books that I picked for this video. I think that they all fit pretty perfectly if I do say so myself. So if you haven't seen that out yet, I'll also try to link that up above so you guys can check it out because I love it a lot. Other videos that I've enjoyed are like my tier ranking videos. Those are also also kind of like my most popular videos of the year, which is unexpected for me. But I really love my booktube faves one, ranking booktube's favorite books. I really loved that one. That's also my most popular one. I don't know, it was just so much fun to do, and I got new editing software this year where I can actually like do cool things, like put things on the screen or like do things like that. And so being able to just like screen record my screen doing a tier ranking and being able to put it on the screen, I don't know, it's just really cool. I like when I can do cool things like that. I'll leave my playlist up above if you guys want to go check it out and see all the other tier rankings that I did, because I love them all a lot. And then I have 2 reading vlogs that I really loved. I have my Scythe reading vlog where I read the books in 3 days, so you can go check that out as well, like I already said. And then I also have my Wizard of Oz reading vlog. I did try some new editing techniques in that video that I'm just obsessed with, and I'm just really proud of that video and everything that I did. I worked really hard on that one, and I also just love the Wizard of Oz, so please check that one out as well if you haven't already, because I'm so proud of them. This is like the first time that I've ever been like genuinely like super proud of these videos. Like I've rewatched them a lot, and I typically only rewatch like certain reading vlogs or like writing vlogs primarily for my channel just because I like to see my journey. But like I rewatch these videos all the time. I'm kind of obsessed with them, which is kind of narcissistic, but I don't even care. The next question is most beautiful book that you've bought or received this year. So for me, that is Only Mostly Devastated by Sophie Gonzalez. Can I mention this book more times? I do not know. What originally drew me to this book on Twitter was seeing the cover and then obviously hearing that it was a Greece inspired book. But this cover is just so cute. Like look at that typography. Look at all the little characters. I'm trash for little illustrated characters on a cover. It's just really cute, and I don't know. I really love illustrated covers, and this is one of my favorites that I've purchased so far this year. The last question is, what books do you need to read by the end of the year? And I have a stack of books. I'm only going to be mentioning books that I own because there are a whole lot more that I don't own that I would also like to get to, but I'm trying not to spend too much money on books. So I'll start with the books that are on my 2020 TBR that I have yet to get to. So the first one is Goodbye Days by Jeff Zentner. I've literally had this arc since 2017. I'm trash and I still haven't read it. I started it last year and I got 76 pages into it. It is on my 2020 TBR, so I hope that I can get to this one. It seems really sad. I would love a sad book, but I do really want to get to this one at some point so I can cross it off my bullet journal. And then we also have A Curse of Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kemmerer. I was actually planning on doing a video with this book and also the next book, which I can mention, Children of Blood and Bone by Tommy Andy Emmy. I had a whole video planned where I was going to read both of these in it along with other books, but I needed books from the library, and her libraries are not currently open. At least I don't think they are. And I also don't really want to be checking books out from the library right now anyways. I'm really nervous about COVID, guys. Anyways, so these ones, I don't know when I'm going to get around to them. I don't know if I need to like adjust that plan for the video. I don't really know, but I do really want to get to these ones. I've had this one on my TBR since 2018, and every year I'm like, I'm gonna read it, and I just never do. And I think it's because I'm really intimidated by it since it is such a large high fantasy, and I do really want to love it, but then I've also heard mixed things about the sequels. I'm kind of all over the place with this one, and then this one I know a lot of people love it, and I also like, I don't know, I really want to love high fantasy, but it's so hard for me, and so I'm really intimidated by these two, but I really want to read them, so. And then the next two I'm actually planning on reading quite soon. So we have Finale by Stephanie Garber. This is the third and final book in the Caraval series. I actually have the audiobook for this one right now from my Overdrive app. I just need to finish listening to the one I'm currently listening to so I can jump into this one. I'm really excited to finish this series. I definitely will be reading this one very soon. And then the next one is another book that I've had since 2017 and I just haven't read, and that is Maud by Melanie J. Fishbane. This is a book all about Ella Montgomery and like her teen years, I guess. I don't really know exactly what it's about, but I love Ella Montgomery. I love Anne of Green Gables. I definitely want to read more of her books I've never read outside of Anne. So those are all of the books that I have to talk about today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a huge thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Comment down below what some of your favorites of the year have been and what your disappointments have been. Let me know down below. Subscribe if you have not yet already, and I'll see you guys next time.